Your Excellencies, to introduce the one and only Mr. Juvenal Shiundu, very passionate, committed, and I believe potentially very effective Secretary General of the International Maritime Organization. Thank you very much.
Honorable Cabinet Secretary, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. From the outset, I should say how profoundly humbled and honored I am to have been nominated by my government as a candidate for this high-level portfolio of IMO Secretary General. I am fully aware of what the office entails and requires of me, and I'm prepared to take on the varied challenges, having been deeply associated with the organization for almost 30 years, both as an outsider and as a staff member. Before highlighting my vision and mission for governing, I would like to express my deep gratitude to you individually for honoring my government's invitation at this official launch of my candidacy. Indeed, I am pleased that this event is taking place on this historical ship, the floating livery hall of the Honorable Company of Master Mariners, appropriate home for a company of seafarers, which I'm privileged to be a member of. As most of you may be aware, the legwork involved in my campaign has been intense indeed. I am availed of the distinguished privilege of visiting and meeting many of your excellencies in your respective London missions, and complimentary to visiting a number of your capitals for consultations. Starting tomorrow, I will continue my journeys to as many council members' capitals as practical before Judgment Day on 30th of June. Permit me at this juncture to seize this opportunity of expressing my highest appreciation in advance to those council members who intend casting affirmative ballots in support of my candidacy. Similarly, I should also respectfully enlist the support of undecided council members to cause their respective pendulums to swing decisively in my direction. Rest assured that your investment as premium bonds will certainly yield blue chip dividends for the global maritime transport industry, representing the driving force behind global prosperity. Now to the crucial question: why should you support my candidacy? If elected Secretary General, I will be heading IMO at a time when the global maritime transport industry generates greater opportunities for our people and the planet. Opportunities to establish linkages between IMO's work, the Sustainable Development Goals, post-2015 development agenda, and the promotion of the concept of the blue economy and greener shipping to support and harness wealth creation and sustainable blue growth in the maritime sector. There will also be challenges occasioned by emerging issues such as greenhouse gas emissions, shipping activities in the polar regions, implementation of the Ballast Water Convention and the IMO Member State Audit Scheme, shortage of qualified merchant Navy officers, unprecedented illegal maritime migration in the Mediterranean Sea and elsewhere. Daunting as the challenges may seem, however, with my leadership and cooperation of member states and the industry, these challenges would not be insurmountable. In my mission statement, as you may have gleaned from my prospectus or my campaign website, I have stated unequivocally that given the opportunity to serve, I will advocate and promote an inclusive IMO, encourage and facilitate consensus building, cooperation, and build capacity. I believe in continuity of well thought out and practical review and reforms, and will maintain and where practical, enhance the current reforms initiated by the incumbent Secretary General and endorsed by the IMO twin governing bodies. Turning yet to another justification for choosing me for the coveted portfolio, because I possess the right combination of competencies in terms of education, skills, and experience to guarantee the executive leadership delivery backed by diplomacy. I am a naval architect, as you've heard, with previous roles in the Maritime Administration, flag and port state implementation, with 17 years practicing development cooperation diplomacy and implementation of technical assistance programs within the UN Common System. I have managed a shipyard facility with a staff strength of 350 and had executive responsibilities for human resources and financial management with accountability to executive and supervisory boards. In those capacities and within the framework and concept of change management, I propelled the company to attain assurance certification under the ISO 9000 as far back in 1995. I hail from an African developing country that has made great advances in fighting terrorism and piracy, enhancing economic growth and effective governance in the maritime sector, and with the support of IMO member states. Kenya has been a leader in advancing cooperation regionally as well as north and south. Within IMO, I have initiated and introduced improvements in technical cooperation delivery and other schemes that have led to cost cutting and efficiency. I understand the current IMO secretarial staffing and budgetary challenges and the dynamics of the global maritime regulatory sector and the direction the industry ought to be heading in the present century. Last but not least, given my humble beginning as a schoolboy growing up in rural Kenya, I am proud to mention here tonight that my achievements in life to date, education and career-wise, are due exclusively to my parents, my wife, and teachers who taught me the value of humility, hard work, transparency, integrity, and honesty. In conclusion, I thank you collectively for your kind and undivided attention, while eagerly looking forward to your affirmative endorsement on Judgment Day as we march towards a new leadership at 4 Albert Embankment. Thank you.